Okay, here's the requested video of a playthrough of 3D Monster Maze. This is what it looks like when it starts up. It's the same color calibration screen as I had in the Wumpus game, and I could have changed the graphic, except that I kind of thought about it. I'm like, I really like my Wumpus, and that's kind of my signature. So, so you just have to just reset the machine until the colors come up right. Or I have a CoCo VGA, so I just push the button on the back, and it's off I go. That's it. It's nice and easy. So get yourself a CoCo VGA if you don't have one, and then you just hit any key to continue. And I'll pick hard here. And what it's going to do now is generate a maze for me. And there are a couple of things about the original game that I didn't really like so much. I love the concept of running around the maze. I love the concept of there's a monster out there that I'm trying to avoid. However, I always just ran around this thing. I could never find the exit. So I did a couple of things that are just a little bit different. So I put in the compass direction at the bottom, so you can have some idea of which way you're facing. And there's also a map. So if you hit the M key, you will see that now you have an overhead map. And that may seem like, well, why don't you just run around in the map view? However, if you do that, you're just going to run into walls, and it's not going to work out so well. Oh, that'll happen. Yeah, okay, that happens. So the monster ate me. So let me retry that same maze here. Now, if I pull up the map again, you'll see it saved all of my information from the last run through the maze. So the other purpose of the map is that what you can do is carve out, you try to run through as much space as you can, and eventually you can figure out where the exit is. But and the messages will tell you, they give you kind of the relative distance of the monster as and also whether the monster is stuck or not. Now, if the monster does get stuck, the monster will eventually teleport somewhere else and then start chasing you again. So it's not like the monster can ever really get boxed into a corner and then and then the game is just kind of boring and you're running around. So the idea here with the map is you can eventually map out all of the space if you're careful and you just don't get eaten, that you will eventually be able to find the monster here. And there's our footsteps approaching. Okay, I'm just going to let myself get eaten here so you can see what the animation looks like. There we go. And it gives you two opportunities to repeat the same maze so you don't lose your progress. So if you get eaten, you can retry that same level and keep your progress from the last level. Now, there is a super secret cheat key hiding in here somewhere. So let me try see if it works. Oh, there we go. Oh, no. All right, so there's my secret cheat key combination. And what I'm going to do here is actually run over to the exit, which I can now see, just so I can show you what the exit looks like. And the cheat key combination is left in there. I just kind of left that in as a debugging tool. But then I was like, you know what? I'll just leave it in there. And then so now if I walk into the that door, then I've escaped, and the game will restart. Now I get a different map. So if I go back to now you can see that the map view has been turned off and the cheat's been disabled. So there you go. That's what it looks like. It's lots of fun. It was a lot of fun to make. It was a challenge to squeeze the thing into 16K. I actually had to go down. There were things where I was doing like load A and then load B, and then I actually had to go. I was hunting through trying to consolidate that into load the D register, which is because that saves you. That's 1 byte, 1 byte. And oh, that was easy. Hey, cool. You save a byte there, and that's just by combining those instructions. From 2 instructions down to 1 instruction using the register pairs. And it's double buffered. The code for the double buffering comes from the CoCo VGA website. So thanks, Brendan, for that. And so it's actually doing double buffering and no flickering. And the feel of the keys is meant to replicate the Sinclair just a little bit. So it's like you kind of are trying to run, but if you were able to run too fast, then the game wouldn't be challenging. So you need to be able to run, but not super fast, just to kind of keep that level of stress up in the game. And then there's also 2 speeds, so the monster can kind of be slow or fast, and that way you can kind of get used to the game on the easy method. And then once you've got it kind of figured out, then you can go back to then you can play it on the fast speed, which is what I usually like to do. So so there it is. So it's the 3D monster maze for the CoCo, based on the ZX81 version by Malcolm Evans, but then I just made a couple of changes to improve the playability and just to kind of make it a game that I would actually want to play. And I actually do keep this in my classroom set up. I keep a CoCo set up, and I just every now and then I just go over and I play a game, or I tell a student to go over and play a game and just tell me if they like it. So the reaction from them has been positive. They've liked it. I tested it on my son. He thought it was a boomer game in quotation marks, and then the monster popped up and he jumped out of the chair. So I think it hits its emotional target too. So there you go. I hope you enjoy the game, and big thanks to Neil for getting this together so we can get it on a cartridge. It's just fun to make real hardware for real computers, and new games for old machines, and go back, find those ideas that were good on other platforms, but nobody ever took the time or thought to port over to the color computer. So there you go. Hope you like it, and hope you buy a copy and play it a lot.